Ever felt like someone was staring at you, even when you weren't looking? Or wondered what that quick little blink really means? Today, we're decoding your blinks and eye contact, the silent language you've been speaking your whole life. Welcome to Mind Bites. Blink and you'll miss it. Literally. Eye contact is one of the brain's oldest social signals, a part of your brain called the superior temporal sulcus tracts where someone is looking, while your amygdala quickly flags if their gaze is friendly, flirty, or a sign of a fight. Your attention system then locks in like Wi-Fi, finding a strong signal. A direct gaze can signal interest, confidence, or even dominance. A quick glance away might mean someone is thinking, showing respect, or feeling a bit uncomfortable, all depending on the context. The secret is that your eyes help timestamp the conversation. When we're really engaged, our gaze and blinks sync up, like two playlists on the same beat. So, let's talk about blinking. It's more than just keeping your eyes from drying out. The average person blinks about 10 to 20 times a minute when relaxed. But that rate changes with your emotions, how hard you're thinking, and even your dopamine levels. When you're super focused, you blink less. That's why gamers can look like statues during an intense match. Then, once the hard part is over, their blinks rebound in a little blink storm. In a conversation, blinks often cluster at natural pauses, like the end of a sentence or a thought. Your eyelids are basically the period at the end of your mental sentence. Now, not all blinks are created equal. We have micro blinks, those tiny, rapid closures often tied to quick thinking or mild stress. Then there are macro blinks, which are longer closures that can signal you're tired, disengaged, or just mentally checking out of the conversation for a second. But here's an important note. A single blink doesn't mean much on its own. It's the patterns over time that give you the real intel. So, how long is too long to hold eye contact? In many Western cultures, 2 to 3 seconds of steady eye contact feels friendly and connected. Go beyond 5 to 7 seconds without a break, and it can start to feel intense or even a bit aggressive, unless you're on a date or in a staring contest you didn't sign up for. The key is the rhythm. Think of it like waves. Look, hold, give a little nod, glance away briefly, then return. You want gentle waves, not a tidal wave. Of course, culture tunes this dial. In some East Asian contexts, less direct eye contact is a sign of respect. In parts of Latin America and the Mediterranean, more eye contact can signal warmth and sincerity. And in formal settings in the Middle East, a direct gaze communicates seriousness. When in doubt, a good strategy is to lightly mirror the other person. Let their comfort level set your baseline, and then adjust from there. This all applies to our digital lives, too. On video calls, the camera is the new eye. To create a real connection, look directly at the lens when you speak, and then glance at the faces on your screen to gauge their reactions. A few simple tricks can help. Raise your camera to eye level. Use soft lighting to reduce squinting, and please, blink naturally. A forced, unblinking stare is just unsettling. Remember, never decode a person from just one cue. You need to stack the signals. Are they holding eye contact comfortably, or are their eyes darting away? Is their blink rate steady, or does it drop when they're thinking and then rebound? Do their nods and facial expressions match what's being said? If everything aligns, eyes, voice, and body language, they're likely engaged. If there's a mismatch, it might be a good idea to check in. Let's get practical with some cheat codes you can use today. First, the triangle technique. Gently move your gaze between their left eye, right eye, and mouth. It makes you look engaged without staring. Next, the 60-40 rule. When you're speaking, aim for eye contact about 60% of the time. When you're listening, bump it up to 70-80%. Break it up with small nods and brief glances away. Also, try to blink with the beat, Letting your blinks land at the end of your sentence subtly signals it's your turn to talk. And if you feel yourself getting too intense, just soften your expression with a small smile and a brief glance away before returning. Friendly, not fierce. Let's also bust a couple of myths. First, the idea that liars blink more. It's not reliable. Under pressure, some people actually blink less during the lie and more right after. The truth is in the overall pattern and context, not a single eyelid twitch. Second, strong eye contact always means confidence. Sometimes, yes, but it can also be rehearsed, a sign of anxiety, or just a cultural difference. True confidence is when everything aligns: the eyes, tone, posture, and message. Think about a job interview. You can use the triangle technique, nod on key points, and let your blinks punctuate your sentences. On a first date, try softer gazes and more micro smiles. And in a tough conversation, slow your pace and use slightly longer holds when you're listening to show you understand. So, what does that quick blink really mean? Often, it's just a brain beat, your cognitive punctuation. Less blinking can signal focus, while a burst of blinks can mean your system is resetting after a mental effort. Your eyes are always talking, even when you're not. Now that you can hear what they're saying, you can use them to connect with others, clearly, kindly, and confidently. Which eye contact moment has confused you the most? Drop it in the comments below, and we'll decode it together. If this helped you out, blink twice and hit that subscribe button. Just kidding. One tap is fine.